covenant I made with their forefathers when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Jerusalem, out of the land of Egypt. Okay, if I remember it correctly, but rather I was gonna make this covenant, and this shall be without what? It was gonna be basically they was gonna be born knowing the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, and was just gonna do it, man, all the time. So they was gonna be in a perpetual state of being blessed. That's within the book of Deuteronomy. It says that if you will hearken unto the Lord thy power and to do all of his commandments, the Most High was gonna bless Jerusalem perpetually. And that's what's gonna happen within the future. And that's gonna get rid of what? That's gonna get rid of the need of the Edomites, man. Because the Edomites have only ever been here basically to Jacob, man. Okay, you check out the transatlantic slave trade that existed because of all the skullduggery Jake was doing during what's known as the Byzantine Empire. Okay, that 1,000-year period that Jake was ruling. Okay, and what's known as the time of the Moors. That wasn't no righteous rulership, man. Okay, I mean we always talk about how Jake ruled Europe. Okay, and how Jake ruled Europe during the time, okay, of Constantine, the so-called great, up until the time of what? The Borgias and so on and so forth. But the reality of the situation is when Jake was in rulership for that for the 1,000-year span, they was going hella off, man. Okay, they was going hella off. They was killing each other, they was committing adultery, they was committing idolatry. A lot of them Jakes was all up into Islam, man. Okay, so the Most High jacked their asses up in what was known as the transatlantic slave trade. And he did that by the hand of who? By the hand of Esau, man. So when the Most High sets it up to where what Jake is doing right, you ain't gonna need no Edomites to come up and take Jake into slavery anymore. They gonna be righteous, man. From the most wickedest Jake you can think of right now to the most pious one you can think of right now. All them Israelites is gonna be the same. The scripture even says that. It says that what? You ain't gonna be able to teaching Lord, 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 because all will know the Father. And that's how we're gonna become a nation of kings and priests. Okay? So continuing here, the book of Psalms 137 and 7, it says, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it from the foundation, even unto the foundations thereof. Okay, O door of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. So that's talking about Esau. Esau is the door of Babylon. Okay, who are to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou wast served. And that's talking about vengeance, man. Okay, when you go into the scriptures, there's a heavy sentiment, a heavy thing, okay, a reoccurring theme, okay, regarding revenge, because the Most High deals with revenge, man, and that revenge is all about what? Balancing the scales of justice, okay, eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Now, but the scripture says that what? You're supposed to forgive, and you're supposed to forgive your brother, like a fellow brother in this truth that you're at fault with. You give that brother mercy because why? Because the scripture says that what? However much mercy you was going to give, that's how much mercy you was going to receive, man. Basically, you can't look at a man and say, oh, you did this down the third, I don't like you, whatever. And then you can't then look at the Most High and ask the Most High for forgiveness. You can't forgive your own brother, man. That's clearly within the scriptures. But as concerning these other nations, the Most High's got a great judgment coming for them, pursuant to the book of Zechariah 2 and 8, where the scripture says that what? Okay, Israel is the apple of the Most High's eye. So the principal focus of the Most High is the Israelites. So when you had it to where Jake was being put in captivity underneath these different nations, or they was making mockery of us, or they was making merchandise off of us, you got Moab and the Arabs, they go up into our neighborhoods and set up liquor stores and damn chicken spots. Okay, the Most High is going to jack them up for all of that. Because that's all going back onto the book of Psalms, the 83rd chapter, where all of these nations are confederate against the children of Israel, man. And their main aim basically is to remove that name of Israel out of the earth, because that's a major, you're talking about threats, that's a major threat to their so-called power structure, man. Okay? And let's deal with this thing of revenges. The book of 2 Thessalonians. Okay, the book of 2 Thessalonians. See if I can get it right quick. If not, I could go to, okay, here we go. The book of 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. It says, seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High Yahweh to recompense them that trouble you. So it's a righteous thing to recompense tribulation, man. So you either have an enemy or you have a nation come up against the children of Israel. It's a righteous thing for the Most High to have them serve us. Okay, that's righteousness with the Most High. The book of Psalms 58 and 1. Is it Isaiah? Yeah, Psalms 58. The book of Psalms 58, and I'll start from the top. It says, "Do ye speak in righteousness, O congregation? Do you judge uprightly, all ye sons of men?" And that's ultimately what Esau's out here doing. Okay, so I'll finish Psalms 137. So I'll move on to other precepts. But that's basically what Esau is doing. Okay, he's out here and he's exalted himself as the Most High. He's the one that sits in the judgment seat of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the Salakia, that sits in the judgment seat. Okay, within the congregation. Okay, he's the one that's basically saying he's the Most High. Okay, sorry, I slipped with my tongue right there. People gonna cut that and send that out, right? Okay, but basically he's the one that's in the judgment seat. Okay, all the judgments that happen within the earth, they flow through what? They flow through Esau, man. Okay, and do they judge uprightly? No, you got Jakes out there, okay, incarcerated, okay, for decades, all right, on an account of an accusation made by an Edomite, all right, and that's it. There ain't no trial, there ain't no fair trial, or whatever, because that's how Esau's got it. It's his time to rule right now, okay? But they don't judge uprightly. They ain't about righteousness. They're about evils, man. That's why you go to where the earth is in a condition that's in right now with cancer rates running rampant. Okay, everybody's got some kind of heart disease. Okay, everyone's dropping dead because why? Because the wages of sin is death, and because the rulers are being in power don't judge uprightly because they're inherently wicked. You got it to where what? The people follow the same pattern of thought, and therefore they die because the wages of sin is death, man. Okay, so it says here, yea, in heart you work wickedness, because ultimately the heart of Esau is to do evils unto Jacob. That's within his mind to do. All the time he's thinking about how they gonna mess up Jacob, man. You're talking about the time of Jacob's trouble? The whole time of Jacob's trouble is to eliminate you Israelites, man. That's the main nation that they're gonna be coming down. Because them Moabites ain't no threat. There ain't no ancient Moabite prophecy that the Moabites is gonna take over the world, man. Now I know certain Israelites out there, they're teaching that, you know, Russia's gonna rule for a period of time. That ain't gonna happen, man. Okay, or China's gonna rule for a certain, that ain't gonna happen. What's gonna happen is the kingdom is gonna be transferred, okay, from the wicked unto the righteous, and the righteous is gonna rule forever. That's within the book of Daniel 2:44. In the days of these kings shall the Most High set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and ain't gonna be left to other people. Okay? So there ain't the main threat unto these elites, okay, is you children, the children of Israel. Let me get this precept right quick, the book of Revelations 12:12. Revelation 12:12, it says there, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Okay, for the devil has come down having great wrath, because he knoweth he has a short time. So ultimately, when you have the thing of the time of Jacob's trouble, Esau's going to be coming down extra hard on you Israelites, because basically the prophecy was that that the Israelites was going to be the ones that get the kingdom next. That's also within the book of 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter and the 9th verse, where it says that Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau's in power right now, but who was going to be the next ones in line to rule? It was going to be the Israelites, man. The Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, all the Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, the remnant of Israel that's out there amidst these different nations, that the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai was going to gather up in the last days. Okay, so continuing, it says here, Psalm 58 and 3, it says, the wicked are estranged from the womb, they go astray as soon as they're born. Speaking lies. And you check out how Esau has this whole world right from the get-go, from a minute a little devil Edomite is born. Okay, what do they do, man? The first thing that they do is they teach them about Halloween, okay, Christmas, okay, all kind of idolatry, man. They go astray as soon as they're born. And that's just what they call high holy days. Okay, their so-called high holy days is all about what? It's all about the evils. Okay, it's all about idolatry. Okay, it's all about witchcraft. Okay, which we're going to see about that within the book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter, before I return on to the book of Revelations, the 18th chapter, 17th chapter, the rather. Okay, but pretty much all of that, as soon as they're born, they go off. Now, when they become bigger, when that little devil becomes a big devil, oh man, that's when they really put their sorcery to work, man. Okay, with the systematic oppression that they have against the Israelites. Okay, and how they orchestrate their whole judicial system is against you Israelites, man. Basically, anything that you Israelites want to do, they got a law for that. You want to go out there and have a barbecue in the park, they got a law for it. Okay, you want to go out there and really, because the way Jake is built, Jake is built to have children, man. So guess what the main curse? Guess what the main system that they have? Okay, for oppressing you Jakes, they made it to where basically it's a damn near curse to have children, man. Because the Israelites love to have children. That's why you got a massive operation, Planned Parenthood operation coming up against you Negro, Hispanic, and Native American women, man. That was an attack, and that was funded by what? I believe that guy George Soros is a so-called Jew. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe if I'm not mistaken, he's an Amalekite, man. He comes from the head tribe, okay, of your enemies. Okay, so that's why you got it to where you got Planned Parenthood within the Negro, Hispanic, Native American neighborhood, and that's the ones where it's aimed at against. Okay, because what? Because when that little devil becomes a big devil, they really put their hands in dirty, okay, to come up against you Israelites, you Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man, because you're their main enemy. Okay, continuing, it says here. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they're born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent, and they're like the deaf adder. Because when you check out a serpent, or you get bit by a particular serpent, there's all kind of snakes out there, man. There's certain snakes, okay, one bite, okay, one drop of their poison could kill 30 men. But see, the poison that coming out of Esau, that's killed hundreds of millions of thousands of people, man. Okay? That's killed all kind of people within the earth. You're talking about the longevity of this kingdom. Man, the scripture says that what? If the Lord wasn't going to come anytime soon, pretty much you wasn't going to have no flesh left to save. Look at the war, man. Okay, the war is all kind of defiled. Okay, look at the air you're breathing. It's all kind of defiled, man. The food you're eating is GMO. Okay, they ain't nothing natural. You're going to go to a store and you're going to decipher what's organic and what's inorganic. Okay, you're going to go to a butcher's and ask them if they're actually giving you beef instead of some horse leg from somewhere else, man. Okay, that's because underneath the scriptures, like the scripture says within the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter, the earth is totally defiled underneath the inhabitants thereof. Okay, so continuing, it says, and therefore, what comes out of that? Death, man. Okay, so 4th verse, it says, their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They're like the deaf adder that stupid her ear, which will not hearken unto the voice of charmers, charming never so wisely. Break their teeth, O Yahweh, break the teeth of the young lions, O Yahweh, let them melt away as the waters which run continually. When he bendeth his bow to shoot, let them be cut in pieces. So when they're aiming their final attack to take over the world with the RFID chip, mark of the beast, they're going to be cut to pieces. Okay? The scripture says that what? When they're about to fulfill their belly, all right, the book of Job, the 20th chapter, when they're about to fill his belly, the Most High was going to cast his wrath upon him. Let me get that right quick. The book of Job, I know I'm holding a lot of scriptures. Lord's will, I remember. I mean, I'm just flowing in the spirit at the end of the day. This is what the Most High wants out. But Lord's will, you know, I get back onto those different precepts that I had. So let's go into the book of Job, the 20th chapter. I can start from the top and I'll go back onto Psalms Psalms 58. So Job 20 and 3, it says, Job 20 Job 20 and 4, it says, knowest thou not this for old? Okay, since man was placed upon the earth, the triumphing of the wicked is short. And that goes on to that precept that I pulled out. Okay, that what? Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense them that trouble you. So you have a guy that's just doing all kind of skullduggery. The Most High was going to have his moment. Okay, he was going to have his moment to be what? To be seen for the wicked that he is. Okay, the scripture talks about how I believe it's within the book of Job, that how the heavens shall reveal, okay, his iniquity. And that goes back onto what? That ties in nicely with the book of Revelations. That ties in nicely with the book of Revelations, the 17th chapter and the 18th chapter, where it was talking about Esau getting what? Getting jacked the hell up, man. Okay? Because why? Because all this how he's jacked the whole earth out. And how he's been what? The wicked man that's been triumphant. They're the ones that are making all kind of money off of what? Off of oil spills. Okay, they're the ones that are making all kind of money off of what? Off of the different proxy wars that they got throughout the four corners of the earth. They're making merchandise for people's poverty, man. Okay, but see, the Most High said that what? The triumphing of the wicked is short. Okay, so it says there 6 furthermore, though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reach onto the cloud, because you check out the history, okay, the Assyrians didn't build like how you see these buildings built, man. They never built so highly. Okay, now you had the Egyptians, they had the pyramid, but we're talking about one major building. All of Esau's buildings are built like this, man. Okay, he's got skyscrapers for days out there in Abu Dhabi, okay, in New York, all of them places like that. He's got buildings like that for days. But the reality of the situation is that what? Even though they build up, okay, even though they might put their planes out there into the skies, which no nation had ever did that before, okay, them nations dreamed about having planes and aircrafts and so on and so forth. But Esau's the one that was able to realize those so-called dreams. Okay, but the reality is that what, even though his might, his technology makes it to where what, he reaches onto the clouds, the Most High was still going to cast him down from that high pinnacle status. Okay, and that was going to be the most magnificent destruction that the earth's ever seen, because there ain't no nation ever been this so advanced in technology. You got a mobile phone that can have it to where you have contact to the other side of the world, man. Or you can have you can go home, okay, play a video on your laptop, upload it, and it can be seen on every person's laptop, okay, all over the world. So this man's technology is far surpassed what any other nation could have dreamed of, and the Most High was still gonna take his ass out, man. Okay, so it says there, the 6th verse, I'm gonna read that again because it gives context to the 7th verse. Okay, though his excellency mount up unto the heavens, and he is red reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. Because when you take a doo-doo, man, you flush that thing away, you ain't ever gonna see that thing again, man. Okay, and that's the same thing with Esau. He's gonna build. He's built all of these so-called dainty places, the heavens, so you can understand. Okay, on New York, Britain, whatever. He's built all of those places up. But the reality of the situation is, once the kingdom is set up, ain't nobody gonna be thinking about that. And after a certain amount of time, you're gonna find out ain't nobody ever gonna be thinking about Esau, man. Cause ain't nobody got time for that. All right. So it says that what? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as the vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place behold him anymore. And that's talking about what? That's talking about this thing that he built up of America and Britain and France and Germany and so on and so forth, Russia, because them Russians are Edomites too. Let's not forget that. Okay. His children shall seek to please the poor, and their house shall restore their goods. Continuing, his bones are full of the sin of his youth. We shall lie down with him in the dust, because guess what? He was the first murderer, going back onto Cain, which killed Abel. Okay, so he's still gonna pay for that. Okay, so that's that centuries, millennium old, okay, hatred that goes back onto Cain and Abel. Okay, which transpired onto what? Jacob and Esau, which is the nations that are basically pitted up against each other right now. All right, so continuing, so his bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though his wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it underneath his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned, it is the gall's asp within him. He has swallowed down riches, and this is what they had. This goes into the book of Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, because they done swallowed up all kind of riches, man. Okay, all the gold within the world, that's basically between China and the US, okay, and Russia. They have all the gold within the world. As for the rest of the resources, America's got a monopoly on all the resources within the earth. Okay, diamonds, okay, oil. That's why you have a thing called a world reserve currency. That's based around what? Oil. Okay, so they got a monopoly on all of these riches. All right. So it says there, he has swallowed down riches, he shall vomit them up again. So, because gold, silver, and all of that, they ain't gonna be destroyed within the earth. The Most High is just gonna transfer it. That's the same gold, like the elder apostle Iram always says. That gold and that silver, that goes back onto all the way back onto the Babylonians and the Assyrians and the Medo-Persians, man. That's just gold that Esau has taken. Now he's the one that's in rulership, and that's the gold that he has to this day. So what's gonna happen with that? He's gonna what? He's gonna vomit that up, and who's gonna have it? The 12 tribes, the nation, the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, of which a very tiny part, a very small part of it might go on to these other nations. I don't know, but we know that those nations gonna be vassals unto us, and we us having a monopoly on resource within the nation, within the world. That's within the book of Isaiah. Was it the 60th chapter? How that all the forces of the Gentiles is gonna be brought up unto us. So we know that these heathen nations, Moab, Ammon, Ishmael, all of those nations, even Edom, okay, are going to build up the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of the Israelites, for a period of about 1,000 years. But after that, pretty much what's going to happen is you ain't going to see the Edomites anymore, and those different other heathen nations, Ammon, Moab, whatever, they're going to have their own little thing going on underneath our jurisdiction, okay? So they still going to be slaves underneath us, but they ain't going to be catching as much hell, okay? They still going to be catching hell, but they ain't going to be catching as much hell as they did, as they're going to do for the first 1,000 years of rulership, okay? Because they're going to pay their judgment, they're going to pay it back for what they did, all right? But Esau ain't going to be no more, okay? He says, he has swallowed down riches, he shall vomit them up. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of the asp. Okay, the viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods of the brooks or honey, the butter, okay, which he labored for. All right, that which he had labored for shall he restore, and he shall not swallow it down. And according to his substance shall his restitution be. Okay, and he shall not rejoice therein. Basically, he ain't gonna rejoice. Okay, in the thing of this what you call it, the New World Order. Okay, he's labored for the so-called New World Order, and he basically ain't gonna have that, man. Okay, he's put this thing of the New World Order plans and whatever. He's put that into motion, but he basically ain't gonna have it. And the scripture's gonna tell you that because he had oppressed and forsaken the poor, which is Jake, the Israelites. And that goes back onto the book of Psalms, the 137th chapter and the 7th verse. We read it. Okay, remember, oh Lord, okay, the house of Edom that said, erase it, okay, down to the foundations. Okay, so that hate because they have oppressed and they have forsaken the poor. Okay, the Most High is going to jack them up, but it continues to go on, and it says because they have violently taken away in the house, they build it not.